Welcome to the Confident and Courageous Clarity Podcast with me, Jateya Jones. Join us weekly for everything clarity. The truth is, once you have clarity, you'll have the confidence and courage to succeed in life and business. If you're new to the podcast, you should know my goal is to help you gain the clarity needed to transform your visions, goals, or dreams into reality. So let's jump right into today's episode. For my OG listeners, you all know that the podcast was birthed from the evolution of Mocha Monday's Tip of the Week. So when we moved to the podcast, I couldn't just leave you without your mocha. Therefore, at the beginning of each episode, I give you your drop of mocha, and you are to implement it throughout the week to help inch you closer and closer to clarity. This week's drop of mocha is: no one cares what you know until they know that you care. Being multi-passionate is your superhero power because you truly do care about the things that you care about. It may be a multitude of things, but you are passionate about those things. And so the people that you are called to help, your future clients, they need that passion. It translates to them that you actually care. So again, no one cares what you know until they know that you care. Hone in on your superpower and use it to impact others and increase income. With that, let's jump right into today's episode. Welcome to 2022. In the words of my friend Natalie, 2020 you. So, I have committed myself to speaking directly to the multi-passionate entrepreneur this year. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and I'm always telling us to hone in and embrace all parts of you. And I realized that my tribe, you guys, majority of you are multi-passionates. And so I was like, let me help you guys out. Mainly because I had a friend tell me, that's what I'm called? Why haven't you told me out of all of these years that I'm a multi-passionate? And honestly, guys, it's because I truly thought he knew. I thought he knew. So I am here to tell all the tips, tricks, lessons learned, hard head bumps that I had to live through to get clear on what I do so I can make money just being myself. So many times, society tries to force us into choosing one thing. What do you want to be when you grow up? Just one thing. No, you can't be a pharmacist and a chef. Choose one thing. And the truth of the matter is, that's because they're mainly focused on money. And as a kid, I was conditioned to do so too. And that was twofold, mainly because I was born into survival mode. I was born to a single mother who was in survival mode. She was doing what she had to do to make ends meet. And through therapy, I figured out that that wasn't normal. Surviving is not normal. There is a such thing as thriving. And as multi-passionates, a lot of times we find ourselves in survival mode because we're so desperate for our passions to make enough income and revenue so that we can leave the 9 to 5. For those of you who love your 9 to 5 and you can do both, shout out to you. I was that person for many, many years. But it got to the point where I truly just wanted to do this. I wanted to help people get clear. I was doing it in my job, but I wanted to do more of this for passion-driven, purpose-driven, faith-based individuals. And so I'm so thankful to get to this point, but it didn't come without a lot of bumping my head and hopping from one passion to the next, to the next, to the next, because the last wasn't making enough income fast enough. And I was looking to leave the 9 to 5. When we got furloughed, because I work for the federal government, and I didn't know what furlough was. First of all, I took a pay cut to go work for the federal government because everyone was like, oh, you need a Fed job. They're the best. The benefits are this, that, and the third. Granted, they come with great benefits. However, for creatives like myself, Cube land can mean death to your brain cells, because that's what I felt like. I felt like my brain was turning to mush. But with that being said, they were like, okay, we're going on furlough. And I'm like, furlough? What is this? Basically, in short, you go home and they don't know when they're going to call you back to work. And or if they do, which the second time I got furloughed, they actually did call me back in and they were like, but we don't know when you're going to get paid. So you telling me I'm working for free? How does that work? Like, that is not what I signed up for. And so at each of those instances, my knee-jerk reaction was to go figure out how I can make money the fastest. Because what I wasn't going to do was not be able to continue my lifestyle or not eat or not be able to pay my bills because the federal government decided they didn't want me to work anymore, even though they had given me a job. They weren't firing me. They were just like, let's take a pause so we can save this money over here that we normally give you. So that was a wake-up moment for me, because not the first time did it click, because I didn't stay on furlough that long. But the second time I found myself years later in the exact same position, still in debt, still in survival mode, still robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I was like, never again. And that really made me hone in to this thing I call our superpower of being a multi-passionate. And what I teach now as the ABCs of clarity is the method that I took myself through so that I actually could prosper in my purpose. And it wasn't easy. It definitely was scary, but it was all worth it. And so now I'm here to help you save time so you don't have to make some of the same mistakes that I did, and you can get to getting. So I'm here to really help you hone in on what you do, not how you make your money. All of the ways that we think are our passions, those are our how we would love to make money. They're not what you do. And contrary to popular belief, you do one thing, and you do it seamlessly in your personal and your professional life, so much so that you don't even recognize it. And that's where I come in. I help you identify this common thread in the fabric that's you. There's one thread, and if you pull it, the whole sweater comes apart. That's what you naturally do. That is your gift. That is what you've been put on earth to do. And part of my gift is actually being able to help you identify it and clarify it for you, so then you can communicate with clarity to your future clients, investors, sponsors. When we're with multi-passionates, normally we're talking about the different things that we do in silos. Well, let me tell you everything about A and everything about B and everything about C, and we neglect the synergies among all of our passions. And once we're able to identify, one, what we do and how we do that across the board, one, it means less work that we have to do. Because you let me know, how many of you are burnt out because you're doing all of the things for A, all of the things for B, and all of the things for C? But once you know what you do, you can decrease that work and that effort. Borderline cut it in half. Because once you do it, you can just mimic it, copy and paste it for all the other things. And normally, once you identify the synergies amongst them all, you don't even have to copy and paste. It just flows together. This is what I call your income ecosystem, but we'll talk more about that later. I know, it blew my mind too. It completely blew my mind. I was like, I've been doing all of this for no reason. It's like double the work, double the trouble, right? And then once you're able to identify that common thread, the synergies among all the ways you do what you do, then you can clearly communicate that to others. And that communication is what converts people into clients. And then that converts clients into cash. And I know that's your sole purpose, because we can't feed if we're not fed. So money is important, but it's not the end all be all to a lot of us. At the root and the core of us, it's about whatever that thing is that you're passionate about. So I'm not going to belabor the point because we're going to be talking about multi-passionates for the rest of the year. For those of you who aren't multi-passionates, you still can take heed to a lot of the things that I'll be sharing in this season of the podcast. But I just want you to know, 1, you're normal. 2, there's a tribe of us out here willing, ready, and welcoming you into it, of like mind and like heart. We get it. We get you. I promise you, you are the visionary. You're the one who sees things differently and able to actually close the gap holistically, not just focus on one part of the problem, but the entire problem, and create a non-traditional way of actually fixing it. And that's what makes you special. That's your superhero power. So I mainly just wanted to come on here and say today, welcome my multi-passionates, and I'm super excited to dive in this season and help you actually prosper in purpose and switch from surviving to thriving in 2022. This is the year of 2020 you. So let's own it, let's claim it, and let's make it one of the best yet. You guys have a marvelous day. Welcome back to season 2, and I can't wait to continue on this journey with you for the rest of the season. If you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur seeking clarity, check out my website at jateyajones.com and look into the 30-day Clarity Bootcamp. In 30 days, you could be catapulted towards your dreams. No more DIYing it, no more trying to figure it out for yourself. With me, in 30 days, you'll be able to clearly communicate who you are, what you do, and get the clients you desire so that you can prosper in purpose. And with that, have a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous Monday, and I'll see you back here, same time, same place next week.